Hey, movie recapped here. Today I'm going to explain a film titled Too Handsome to Handle. The Moss family has a long history of attractiveness. They are very wealthy because of how many people adore them for their beauty. Otis, the oldest son, is an internet influencer. He has millions of followers because of his attractiveness, and he is also a love guru who helps men impress their crushes. Pakar, the father, used to be a heartbreaker who dated over 1,000 girls before meeting their mother. Meanwhile, the mother is attractive due to her masculine features and a very noticeable mustache. Finally, Kulin is the youngest son and the most attractive of them all. The family has grown accustomed to living as attractive people. Except for Kulin, who struggles to live a normal life due to his attractiveness. He frequently wishes he were only mildly attractive. That way, he wouldn't be chased by a swarm of women every time he went out. When girls see his attractive face, they go insane, pass out, pull their hair, and frequently get nosebleeds. As a result, he's never had any genuine interactions with women. He avoids going out in public as much as he can and has been homeschooled up to this point. Kulin has no friends with whom he can communicate. Apart from his pet fish, he frequently plays cards with it and speaks to it aloud. His family observes him through a camera and is concerned. They want him to have a normal teenage life and do everything they can to help him. Otis frequently shows him pictures of girls in an attempt to match him with someone. Kulin, on the other hand, claims that his ideal girl is someone who dislikes him. He wishes to be seen for his personality and interests rather than his face. When nothing works to get Kulin to go out, his family takes matters into their own hands. They intend to pose as having financial difficulties in order to guilt him into attending school. When Kulin wakes up one night to drink water, his parents pretend to be concerned about their finances. They declare that they will only eat scrambled eggs for breakfast until they have enough money. For Kulin's homeschooling, he feels terrible for causing his parents so much frustration. The following morning, he declares that he will be attending school for the upcoming semester. The family is overjoyed until he says he will only attend an all-boys school. Although they would have preferred that he be able to communicate with girls, they are content to take things one step at a time. Kulin's first day of physical school. Otis drops him off on his bike, but Kulin refuses to remove his helmet. He intends to wear it all day to conceal the fact that he is attractive. The plan, however, backfires when the helmet attracts more attention than he intended. Kulin sits quietly in the last seat but is interrupted by the class bully Cd and his followers. When the teacher walks him, she is surprised to see a young man wearing a helmet. She tells him to take it off right away. Kulin has no choice but to comply, despite his reluctance. He removes his helmet slowly and dramatically, revealing his face. The teacher is being loaded into an ambulance in the following scene. She began to nosebleed and hyperventilated as a result of Kulin's beauty. The other students complain to the principal that the new student is too attractive for them to handle. Kulin attempts to return home but is tripped by one of the bullies. They accompany him to the school's storeroom and introduce themselves as Power Rangers. The Teak attack are a gang of 3 bullies led by CD, the principal's son. Following the over-the-top introduction, they reveal that they require Kulin's assistance in asking a girl out to prom. For the past 3 years, the group has been in their senior year of high school. They refuse to graduate until CD attends the prom with the most beautiful girl at BBM school, Amanda. However, because she only accepts requests from attractive men, the group has asked Kulin to deliver the proposal. Kibo, an innocent bystander, is assigned to assist Kulin and lead the way. Kibo has previously been a victim of their pranks and is obligated to do what the bullies say. Afterwards, Kulin and Kibo go to the principal's office to file an official complaint about bullying in school. Kibo is aware of the outcome, but he continues to accompany Kulin. The principal is concerned about his son's refusal to graduate. Because Kulin's beauty allows him to take Amanda to the prom, the principal wants them to do whatever the bullies say. That evening, Kulin and Kibo decide to finish the task the next day and relieve themselves of the responsibility. Kibo is the first person to show Kulin kindness unrelated to his beauty. Despite the fact that the day did not go as planned, he is pleased to have made a friend. The next morning, they go to the BBM school, where the girls detect the presence of the boys. They strictly prohibit ugly boys from entering the school grounds. As a result, when they notice Kulin wearing a helmet, the entire school asks him to remove it. Kulin removes his helmet in a dramatic scene, causing chaos among the girls. Only a few hours later, the news is broadcast on television. Social media is awash with videos of girls crying, bleeding through their noses, being possessed, and jumping around. Kulin becomes known as the too handsome to handle guy. Amanda, the hottest BBM school student and model, hears the news and is instantly smitten by Kulin. He is the first man who can compete with her in terms of beauty and social standing. She makes it her mission to impress him right away. When the news spreads widely, a crowd of girls gathers in front of the Moss home. The family begins to charge them for a house tour. Kulin, who is hiding in the streets, watches the news and sees his family. He feels he has been betrayed and exploited by his own people. When they call him, he refuses to return home, and his sadness is increased when his pet fish is mishandled and killed by the tourists. He is now hiding on the roof of a building from the maniacs chasing him through the streets. A girl appears behind him and asks if he intends to jump off the roof. Kulin looks at her in disbelief because she doesn't bleed from her nose or pass out when she sees him. The girl refuses to speak and simply walks away. Kulin is nervous and unable to speak. The encounter brightens his day considerably. After a while, he calls Kibo, who picks him up and invites him to his home. He and his grandmother invite Kulin to stay for as long as he wants. When Kibo walks into his room, he notices two rare collectible playing cards and is amazed by them. They realize they have several interests in common, one of which is collecting playing cards. The next day, they go to the all-girls school to look for the girl from yesterday. While they're at it, they meet Amanda and give her the files from Sidi's proposal. Amanda pretends to be unimpressed by Kulin's beauty, but her nose bleeds profusely after he leaves. Kulin spots his crush on the stairs, but the other girls who surround him prevent him from approaching her. Kibo and Kulin do everything together for the next few days and become best friends. Kibo takes Kulin to futsal one afternoon, where he frequently meets his crush, Rear. After the match, Kulin notices the girl from the roof working at a nearby shop. He can't take his eyes off her. Kibo then appears and introduces Rear to him. Kulin discovers that she is also Kibo's crush, whom he mentioned earlier. Kulin is envious of the two's apparent closeness. He can't sleep that night because the feeling is new and confusing to him. Then he recalls Okus as a love guru and arranges a meeting with him. When they finally meet the next morning, Okus bursts into tears of joy. He had been looking forward to the day when he could give his brother dating advice. Kulin has forgiven his family for selling him out to his fans because he would never have met Rear if this had not happened. The brothers then go grocery shopping while Okus makes a list of things Kulin should do to impress his crush. As Kulin follows Okus' advice, he realizes he doesn't know Rear as well as Kibo does. But he still refuses to forget his first love. Amanda arrives at the boys' school one afternoon and hands Kulin a birthday invitation. In addition, she gives him a phone as a gift. Kibo, Kulin, and Rear go to karaoke later that day. Rear and Kulin eventually get to sing together. While Kulin is excited to sing with her, Rear only looks at Kibo. He soon realizes she likes Kibo as well. His heart crumples in jealousy. So, when Kibo is not present, he asks her directly if she has a crush on him. Rear initially denies it, but when Kulin lies about Kibo's love for Amanda, her face drops. His suspicions are confirmed by her expression. Kulin calls Amanda after returning home and asks for a favor. She gladly agrees to do whatever he says. The following day, a large crowd gathers at the venue to celebrate her birthday. Amanda greets Kulin and Kibo when they arrive. Surprisingly, she appears to be more interested in Kibo than in Kulin. She even takes him aside to speak with him privately. In the meantime, when Rear arrives at the party, he sees Amanda kissing Kibo. She runs outside, heartbroken. Kulin confesses his feelings for her, taking advantage of her vulnerability. Rear thanks him but claims she never considered him more than a friend. Kulin receives nothing in return for betraying his only friend. The bullies are enraged when they see Amanda kissing Kibo. They beat Kibo up for it, while Kulin stands nearby, too afraid to intervene. Later, he brings Kibo home and helps his grandmother dress his wounds. Kulin realizes he made a huge mistake only after seeing him moan in pain. The following day, Kibo gives him a legendary card from his card collection, which Kulin had long desired. Kulin, who is guilt-ridden, confesses to everything he has done wrong up to this point. The betrayal shocks and hurts Kibo. He claims he would have left Rear if he had known Kulin liked her as well. The words only serve to aggravate Kulin's pain. Finally, Kibo orders him to leave the house immediately. Kulin simply leaves, knowing he is in the wrong. After a month, he returns home. His family is overjoyed, but Kulin is not so much. He isolates himself in his room and refuses to communicate with anyone. Above all, he misses his best friend. They occasionally cross paths but never exchange more than a glance. Kulin's mother is concerned about his well-being at home. She approaches him one night and hands him his pet fish that never died. She also informs him that he can return to homeschooling if that is what he prefers. The family only cares about his happiness and is willing to go to any length to ensure it. Kulin is moved by her words and realizes that he has people in his life who want him to succeed. This inspires him to make things right with Kibo. He rushes to Rear the next morning and tells her everything. Kibo initially dismisses him, but when asked about Rear, he begins to describe how much he adores her. Kulin demonstrates to him that Rear had been listening to him on the phone the entire time. In this way, he mends their relationship and returns to being both of their friends. They all go to prom together a few days later. Rear is Kibo's date, and Amanda is Kulin's date. Kulin and Amanda are crowned prom king and queen, as expected. Kulin hears a girl say that he is only mildly attractive and is immediately drawn to her, indicating the beginning of a new relationship. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave a like, it encourages us to make more videos like this.